The town of Havenwood was a picture postcard of winter. Snow draped everything, transforming the town into a serene white wonderland. The streets were lined with quaint houses, each adorned with twinkling Christmas lights that cast a warm glow against the cold night. It was a scene straight out of a holiday movie where every corner seemed to whisper tales of joy and peace. A pristine blanket of white, disturbed only by the occasional set of footprints. These footprints told stories of early morning walks, children playing, and neighbours visiting each other. The snow, though cold, seemed to bring the community closer, each step a testament to the bonds they shared. It was the kind of place where secrets whispered on the wind. The gentle breeze carried with it the laughter of children, the soft murmur of conversations, and sometimes the unspoken fears and hopes of the townspeople. The forest, with its towering trees and snow-laden branches, stood as a silent guardian of these secrets. And beneath the idyllic facade, a chilling truth awaited discovery. The dark, ominous sky often hinted at the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the surface. The town, though beautiful, had its share of shadows, and on certain nights the air was thick with a sense of foreboding. At the heart of Havenwood lived Julie Ann Weflen. She was the embodiment of warmth and kindness, her presence a beacon of light in the cold winter months. Her home, always welcoming, was a sanctuary for many. Her laughter was as bright as the holiday lights adorning the town square. It echoed through the streets, bringing smiles to the faces of everyone who heard it. Julie Ann had a way of making even the coldest days feel warm and inviting. Her kindness, a beacon of warmth in the frosty air. She was always ready, with a kind word, a helping hand, or a comforting smile. To the people of Havenwood, Julie Ann was more than just a neighbour. She was a friend, a confidant, and a source of unwavering support. Even on the bleakest days, Julie Ann possessed a spirit that could melt the iciest of hearts. Her warmth was infectious, spreading through the town like a gentle, comforting fire. She had a way of making everyone feel special, seen, and loved. She was a woman of simple routines. Her days were filled with small, meaningful moments that brought joy to her and those around her. Walks in the woods, her faithful husky Max by her side. These walks were her solace, a time to reflect and find peace amidst the beauty of nature. Evenings spent at the local library, her nose buried deep in a book. The library was her haven, a place where she could lose herself in stories and dreams. And every Sunday she'd visit Mrs. Henderson, the elderly woman across the street, bringing her freshly baked cookies and conversation. These visits were a highlight for both women, a cherished tradition that spoke of friendship and care. But on a night when the wind howled like a banshee and snow fell in blinding sheets, Julie Ann Weflen vanished. The storm was fierce, and the town was plunged into a state of panic and confusion. Her disappearance sent a chill through the heart of Havenwood, a chill far more profound than the biting winter air. The town, once filled with laughter and warmth, now felt cold and empty. The townspeople huddled closer, fear a constant companion as they wondered about the fate of the woman who brought them so much joy. The loss of Julie Ann was a wound that cut deep, leaving the town to grapple with a sorrow that seemed as endless as the winter itself. The last anyone saw of Julie Ann was on a Tuesday. The snowstorm had started in the late afternoon, a swirling tempest that quickly blanketed the town. She had just left the library, her arms laden with books, her breath misting in the freezing air. Later that evening, Mrs. Henderson, peering anxiously from her window, noticed the lights were still on in Julie Ann's house across the street. This was unusual. Julie Ann was meticulous about turning off lights. A knot of worry twisted in the elderly woman's stomach. Unable to shake off the feeling of unease, Mrs. Henderson braved the blizzard and shuffled next door. The house was eerily silent. She knocked, her frail hand rapping against the wooden door. No answer. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through her. Mrs. Henderson knew something was terribly wrong. She immediately called Sheriff Davis, her voice trembling as she relayed her concerns. As the sheriff's cruiser pulled up to Julie Ann's house, its red and blue lights painting grotesque shadows on the swirling snow, the chilling reality began to set in. Julie Ann Weflen was gone. The next morning, the storm subsided, leaving behind an eerie silence. The world seemed to hold its breath, as if waiting for something to break the stillness. The townspeople awoke to the news of Julie Ann's disappearance. Whispers spread quickly, and soon everyone was talking about the young woman who had vanished without a trace. A blanket of dread settled over Havenwood, replacing the pristine snow with a chilling sense of unease. The once peaceful town now felt like a place where shadows lurked behind every corner. Sheriff Davis, a man weathered by years of dealing with the harsh realities of life, took charge of the investigation. His stern face showed determination, but even he couldn't hide the worry in his eyes. The first clue, a set of footprints leading from Julie Ann's back door towards the woods bordering the frozen expanse of Crystal Lake. The prints were clear, each step a stark contrast against the white snow. Alongside them, another set of prints, these belonging to a large dog. Max, her faithful companion, had followed her into the cold, unforgiving wilderness. Hope flickered. If Julie Ann had gone for a walk with Max, maybe she'd gotten lost in the storm. The thought brought a small measure of comfort to those who knew her. Maybe she'd found shelter somewhere. The thought fueled the search party that assembled, their faces etched with worry as they trudged through the snow, following the trail of footprints. Each step was taken with a mix of hope and dread. The footprints led them deeper into the woods, the snow-laden branches heavy with silence. The deeper they went, the more the forest seemed to close in around them, the trees standing like silent sentinels. Then abruptly they stopped at the edge of the frozen lake. The sudden end of the trail was like a punch to the gut, leaving the searchers standing in stunned silence. The ice, a mirror reflecting the steely grey sky, offered no answers, only a chilling reflection of their growing despair. The vast frozen expanse seemed to mock their efforts, its surface unbroken and unyielding. The footprints simply ended. It was as if Julie Ann and her loyal companion had vanished into thin air. The searchers were left with nothing but questions and a deepening sense of dread. The disappearance of Julie Ann Weflen sent shockwaves through Havenwood. It was a small, tight-knit community where everyone knew each other, and such an event was unheard of. The news spread like wildfire, leaving a trail of fear and uncertainty in its wake. The townspeople, their faces drawn and pale, huddled around crackling fires, sharing whispered theories and anxious glances. Conversations were filled with speculation, each theory more chilling than the last. The warmth of the fire did little to thaw the icy grip of dread that had settled over the town. The search party scoured the woods for days, their hope dwindling with each passing hour. They braved the biting cold, their breath visible in the frigid air as they called out her name, their voices echoing through the silent, snow-covered forest. They found no sign of Julie Ann, no broken branches, no signs of a struggle, no tracks save for those that led to the frozen heart of Crystal Lake. The stillness of the lake mirrored the growing despair in their hearts, a stark contrast to the frantic search efforts. Back at her house, a team of investigators meticulously combed through every inch, searching for any clue that could lead them to her whereabouts. They examined every corner, every crevice, hoping to find something, anything that could provide a lead. They found her phone on her nightstand, its screen dark and lifeless. It was as if time had stopped in that room, the phone a silent witness to her last moments at home. Her purse lay untouched by the front door. It was a small detail, but it spoke volumes. Julie Ann had left in a hurry without taking her essentials, a sign that she had not planned to be gone for long. But there, on the porch swing where Julie Ann often sat with her morning coffee, they found something else. The swing, now covered in a thin layer of snow, seemed to hold the memory of her presence, a silent testament to her daily routine. A single woolen glove, discarded carelessly, as if dropped in haste. It lay there, half buried in the snow, a stark reminder of her sudden and unexplained departure. A faded red scarf snagged on the armrest. The scarf, once vibrant, now seemed to echo the town's growing sense of loss and confusion. And in the air, the faint but unmistakable scent of her favorite perfume, a delicate blend of lavender and vanilla. It lingered, a ghostly presence, as if she had just been there moments before. These seemingly insignificant items were imbued with a chilling significance. Each one told a part of the story, a story that was as fragmented and elusive as the clues they had found. They whispered of a life interrupted, a story left untold. The porch, once a place of comfort and routine, now stood as a silent witness to the mystery that had engulfed the town. The scent of lavender and vanilla, once a comforting aroma, now hung heavy in the air, a haunting reminder of the woman who had vanished. It was a scent that would forever be associated with the mystery of Julie Ann Weflen, a mystery that left more questions than answers.